Hello everyone and welcome back to Grimm's Garage, and today on TMNT Tuesday I've got 3 of the recent releases for Mutant Mayhem, and as a bonus I've got a movie star character. Unfortunately some of these are kind of reissues, but we'll get into that. And that's my first movie star figure. Actually, I previously decided not to get those, but first one's a shredder. So we're going to start off looking at these guys in the packages, and then we'll take a pause and get them out, and we'll also do some comparisons with some previous releases. So first off, we have the Super Flies, Fly Guy and Small Fry, which has been released before without the Small Fry. It was just him with his gun, although his gun was hand-painted, and he also had a weapon spree. So I think the lack of paint and lack of extra weapons accommodates for the price with the included Small Fry. On the back here, we see this current lineup. A lot of reissues in this. Now, we got Splinter, Mondo, Genghis, Leatherhead, Bebop, Rocksteady, Wingnut, Scumbag. Those were all there before. The difference is they now have these 4 as separate characters, but they're reissues because they were offered in a maybe Walmart exclusive 4-pack. So if you got the 4-pack, I don't know if there's going to be any differences between the singles. Same with April. I don't have an April. I'm looking forward to getting her. She was previously only available in a 6-pack, which looked like a bus. It had the 4 turtles, her, and I think Bebop Rocksteady. I don't remember. One of them was driving the bus, and they are variants within that packaging. They've got like the green goo splatters on them. We do have... Okay, Turtle Tots were new. I've already got and covered those. We got those guys back there to cover. And other than that, new people, absolutely Ray Fillet, but it's still very elusive to me as well. And we've got our Splinter that we're going to take a look at today. But yes, here is Super Flies. I'm going to take a pause on that. Next up we have Mutant Tots, Bebop and Rocksteady. Which honestly I was confused why there was a bird included. But there's always birds with rhinos. If you take a pause on that, it does say that he likes birds. See, he's got crayons that he uses to draw on himself because he wants to have tattoos. Baseball bat and a boombox. Kind of cool. Now, they did reissue the Turtle Tots and these guys in blind bags. And if you're looking to get everything or variants, they are different. The ones in the blind bags have ooze splotches on them. So, something to consider. I chose not to. I felt they were overpriced. They're almost the same price as a single figure for a blind bag. So maybe in the future if I can find them. But for now, no thank you. Young Splinter, Sensei in training. This early 80s, late 70s looking Splinter with his record player. So we can jam out some tunes while he's cleaning his house. In the carefree old days of just being a good father and raising his children. And last we've got Movie Star Super Shredder, which I personally think, in comparison-wise, looks a little goofy. But I guess they kind of cartoon figured the characters, kind of like they did with the Ghostbusters. So even though it's a movie version, it's still a childized version of it. I think the best representations of what they should look like is Raza and Toka and the Foot Soldier. And second place goes to the Turtles. Splinter feels like they didn't even try. It feels like maybe that was supposed to be a reject prototype for the original Splinter, and they're like, well, we got the mold. Use it, push it out. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, he is crazy. We'll take a closer look at that. We'll get these guys out of the packages, compare them to some other figures, and we'll be right back. But please, take a moment to please consider to like and subscribe. You have no idea how much that helps the channel out, like mine. We'll be right back. And here we are, fully unboxed and ready to observe. Sorry for the focus jostle, but here is our fly guy. Looking pretty fly, I could say. Wings come separately. You do have to assemble the last wing and then insert in his back. Exactly the same as the original. There we go. Completed fly guy. Which I've already previously stated on another video. Fly guy in the movie does not have clothes or shoes. His toy figure was established and finalized before the animation visualization was finalized. So this was a pre-incarnation of what he would have looked like before they changed him for the film. So in the film, he does not have any clothes. And for comparison, I'm going to pull out, pardon the jostle, here is the original reissue, or original issue. As you can see, first off, the molds are the same. Everything mold-wise is the same. It's all paint. First off, original, pretty much just plain blue plastic with a bit of purple paint on the veins, whereas the reissue is more of a, not reissue, whatever. Anyway, the new one is more metallic blue, and they didn't bother with the painting of the veins. They assumed the like holographic of the purple sparkle blue will do, I guess. And it stated his weapon on the original is painted. You can see that back piece is painted, where our new one here is not. And his clothes are colored different. They're just trying to drab it down because they realized he doesn't look like this in the film. His pants are now green as opposed to orange. And his shirt is all white as opposed to making it look like a two-piece shirt. Also, the original Fly Guy came with old school style weapons rack with flying water weapon, extra gun, beaker, and test tubes. But this new one does not, because I believe the lack of paint and extra weapons gives us this little guy. And he is articulated okay for a tiny little guy. He's got the hip movement. I think that's pretty much it on the bottom. Yeah, no foot articulation, but the arms do rotate and they have the hip movement. Or, sorry, shoulder movement. So pretty nice. Pretty derpy, happy looking guy there. He's got his matching little yellow wings. Pretty cute. Next up, we've got the Mutant Tots, Rocksteady and Bebop. Rocksteady. Got his little birdie friend on top. Ooh. Yeah. it doesn't stick on there. It's just a little plastic bird. It's an accessory for him. But when he is standing up, that flat part on his head, he does stand on him. He's got a little playful baseball bat. His arms articulate just like the other guy, up and down and rotator. Same with the waist. And although it does look like his head is separate and could articulate like the large one, it does not. That's glued in, unfortunately. And Bebop. And he does have an articulated head. Waist. And the same arm movements. He's holding his little boom box. And he's got himself a blue crayon. He likes to draw on tattoos. That's pretty cute. Next up we have Retro Splinter. And I was delighted to see that his fro is actually flocked. It's actually fuzzy to the feel. They flocked his hair like Mothman or Panther from Motu. That's pretty cool. He's got his New York City t-shirt on, some orange sweats, ponytail and a mustache. I think this looks really fun. He's sweeping up with his broom. And to be honest with you, I thought this guy was quite hard to stand up. And he still kind of is. He's got stiff ankles. His ankles are articulated. But you got to really move them to get him to stand upright. And he also comes with the record player so he can jam out while he cleans up. I think that's pretty cool. And it is quite a bit of a redesign from the original Splinter they released, which is right here. This is the Splinter we mostly know in the film. This is him younger in a flashback. So you can give him lighter fur. Perhaps he's a bit taller. He looks like he could be a bit taller. It could be explainable if he's older and hunched over a bit more. Yeah, it looks like he's just standing up a little bit better. And this was the original issue for the Mutant Mayhem Splinter. But there's also Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Splinter, which carries over the look and story of Mutant Mayhem. It's just a series with new tales. But this is from the Mutant crossover series. You can swap the parts and whatnot. Yeah. So, and you can see for the difference between these, they mostly look the same. But obviously they redesigned the torso. Everything else is the same. They just redesigned the torso. It was a plastic molded shirt and robe. Now it's just a plastic molded shirt and they gave him an actual fabric robe. But the fabric robe still matches all the exact same molds. Pretty nice. I'm not going to go over the extra accessories on that, or on those. Look at previous videos if you like for that. But we're going to finish off with this Super Shredder. Now, I got to say, this is probably one of the most ridiculous Shredder figures, but all the Shredder figures, most of them are kind of ridiculous. It's horrible because he's such a cool character. And such potential for such awesome figures, which we do get in some premium lines nowadays, but classic-wise, no matter what line, Shredder always looks goofy. And he's always hard to stand up. So horrible. Well, his head does move left and right, but that's about it. His eyeballs look horrible. I really think they should have painted the whites of his eyes at least. It's just tan with a black dot. The shoulder pads are attached to the breastplate, that's where that's glued into the figure. And all the spiked arm and shin guards are glued in. The belt is removable. That's the only piece that you can remove by the shuriken there. He's got his spiked mace and his back mount there. He's holding an ooze canister. He does also come with a secondary ooze canister and communicator, like crank communicator device. And with that, I'd love to thank you for joining me today. Hope you'll join me again soon. And please know you are all so much appreciated. Please have a wonderful good night.